I cannot love my kids equally. It is impossible for me to share my heart into 3 equal pieces among 3 human beings. I can't. I no fit love all of them at the same time. I can't love them equally. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to today's video. This is Gistwithgenevieve, and if you're here for the first time, welcome and thank you for clicking on this video and trusting me to share with you something you're going to enjoy. So if you came across this video, it's actually for a reason. It wasn't by accident. So click the subscribe button, relax, pitch your tent here, and you're definitely going to enjoy being around here. Without wasting much time, I'll get straight to the video. I am going to be addressing societal issues today, and it's basically on the fact that a lot of things have been projected on parents over the years, and if we don't speak about these things with the way they are, without having to put into factor the fact that the world is shoving a lot of things on individuals in the name of parenting and raising children. I mean, if we don't talk about it, who else? So I'm going to be sharing my realistic journey so far. My first child is turning 7 in October, so I think that I have earned the right to speak on parenting issues. And even if I haven't earned the right, because we are all learning, I'm still figuring it out. I'm not even sure of what I'm doing. I'm not even sure of what I'm doing with respect to parenting, but we just try our best. If I'm speaking for many parents who are as lost as I am. Anyway, I want to speak on a particular phrase or a particular narrative that we as millennials, we can relate to the fact that there is a type of parenting system that we grew up with. Not everybody grew up with it, because I've also met people who are of my age who will say they were never spanked. My best friend back in secondary school, primary school days, she will always say it that her dad never spanked her for one day till she's an adult, and she grew up to be, a very wonderful and respectable woman in the society today, and some of us grew up with gbasgbos, and all those gbasgbos had a way of affecting us in one way or the other. But that's not even the point of this video. I'm trying to just build a foundation on the fact that we saw some things while growing up. As millennials, I'm going to go as back as I'm going to stop at millennials at least. We saw a lot of things while growing up, because millennials are the newest parents right now, even though there are some Gen Z moms. But Gen Z parents anyway. Millennials are the most of the parents that you will see online at the moment. That's why I'm going to be using them, and I'm one of them. So personally, I grew up in a household where there is a question of who is your favorite child and who is not your favorite child, and who is your best and who is not your best child. So those conversations came up, and I'm not going to close my eyes to the fact that while I was growing up, somehow circumstances and some things which happened in the family made it look like I was the favorite one. I mean, I'm not giving myself too much credit or blowing my trumpet, but my siblings can attest to it. But that's not even the purpose of this video. I'm just trying to build a foundation. So, but these conversations came up as to loving your kids equally and giving them equal attention. Every child is equal. When you share food, you should share it equally. When we're growing up, food was shared, and the oldest had the biggest. Everything went to the oldest. I mean, the biggest one went to in fact, my elder brother is like the king of the house just for being the first son. Do you understand? And that's the cultural expectation. That's where we're coming from. That's who we are. Africans, we respect a lot of older person. Anyway, to the main reason of this video, I am going to be speaking more on loving your children equally and being an equal, I don't know how to say it now, but then being a fair parent, right? So personally, for me, I cannot love my kids equally. I don't see it practicable. I don't even see it fair that I love all of them equally, and I don't even see it right to love all of them equally. Now, practically speaking, it is impossible, in my opinion, it is impossible for me to share my heart into 3 equal pieces among 3 human beings, my kids, who have different personality, different character traits, different needs, and different wants per time. It is impracticable for me to share my heart into different pieces for these children. Stay with me. You need to watch this video to the end. Don't take anything and run. Just stay with me on this video to the very end, because I am building something and it's going to make sense to you or not at the end. So if you leave at this point, you lose. Watch to the end to get the full gist. So it is not possible for me to love them equally. Now, I mean practically, you know the way the heart is shaped. Imagine dividing that heart into 3 equal sides. Let's start from there. Do the math and how it works. While you're working that out, I'm going to bring in the concept of equity and the concept of equality. Let's bring it in here and dissect it. Now, equality means giving everyone a fair share of the same amount of the same thing. Like, we bring 5 biscuits and we're sharing it amongst 5 people and we split it 1-1 each. That's equality, right? Then equity. Equity means that amongst those 5 people, there could be someone who cannot finish 1 piece of that biscuit or 1 pack of that biscuit, and amongst the 5 people also, there could be someone who 1 pack of biscuits will not be enough for. So when you maybe give the person who eats small 1.5 and give the person who will never finish a pack half, that's equality. Bringing that concept into parenting, that is how I realized that I know fit love all of them at the same time. I can't love them equally. These children, 3 of them have different needs, different personalities, different things that makes them unique and special. So it would be unfair for me to, like, let's say one of my kids loves food so much, he can finish half loaf of bread. I'm not joking. And then I have another who will only eat 1 slice. So in the morning when I'm fixing them breakfast, will it be fair that I give all of them, let's say 5 slices of bread, for example? Meanwhile, there is one person who cannot finish 5, and there's someone else who 5 slices will not be enough for. So I need us to, while we're trying to say, oh, love your kids equally, do that for your kids equally, when you're putting your will, make sure it's all equal among your kids. I'm raising my kids to have the mindset that there is no king amongst you. All of you are the same. All of you, whether you're older or not. I'm not bringing in that concept of older or not. It was a lot when I was growing up, and the fact that you're older than me doesn't mean that you know better than I do. The fact that I'm younger than you doesn't mean that I know better than you do. I just believe that when we come to the table of reason, let's first of all see ourselves as reasonable people, as responsible people first, and then when we now cross the line of that, okay, we are all reasonable, but okay, let's vote. Then we can now say, oh, because you're older, we'll give you that privilege, if you get what I mean. So I think the concept of equality and equity should be brought to the table when you're raising your kids, so that you weigh the needs of your children. Just weigh it on the pendulum and see where it tilts. It's not very easy, as I'm saying it, but it's doable. So personally, equality is not what I'm after when raising my children. Loving your children, as beautiful as it sounds, to love them equally, don't have a favorite child. I hope we understand that having a favorite child is different from not loving them equally. Those are 2 different conversations. But even at that, in fact, the whole favorite child thing, we'll talk about it on a later day. Let's just focus on the equality part. So the concept of this equality and all, let's understand that because you're loving your child according to their needs, according to their specification, and according to what works right for that particular child doesn't mean that you're favoring one child above the other. And this conversational parenting is going to make it very easy for you as a parent, because if you're carrying your children along with this in this parenting, it will give them room to understand why things are done the way they are. You understand that if I give Jasmine 2 slices of bread, she's going to waste it. So why give her 2 slices? Do you understand? If I give you 5 slices, you're going to waste it. Why give it to you? But everyone understands when they see Jeremy's food. I just sold my Jeremy out. They just know when Jeremy's plate is full of a lot of food, because Jeremy will eat it all. Okay, so loving your children according to their specification, according to their need, is more important than trying to swallow up the whole idea of making them equal. Now, this has nothing to do with cooking different meals for different kids at the same time, because I also had a friend when I was growing up. Her mom would cook soup, and when it comes to the vegetable part, she splits it up and puts different vegetables according to whoever eats what they eat, and it works for her. Conveniently, comfortably works for her. It might not work for every other parent, but it worked for her, and she was doing it with all the love in their heart. So let's give parents, let society allow parents to breathe. Parenting is a hard chore. You don't even realize what you're doing until the day you exit as a parent. Maybe until the day your kids grow up and you see that, okay, they grow up to be responsible. It's impossible for me to love my kids. Personally, my own opinion, it's impossible for me to love my kids equally. I can't do it. It's not possible. But if you have tried loving your kids equally, as in equally, and it's working for you, you can share some of the tips and the reasons why you do your own parenting style the way you do and how it's working, because I will also want to hear from other people's perspective and see what you share on this particular topic. Other parents, I really want to know, how are you guys doing what you're doing in this aspect of raising your kids, because I actually also want to weigh what I'm doing on the scale of other people's opinion and on the scale of other people's point of view. Let me see if I need adjustments in what I'm doing or if I'm actually on the right track. So please feel free to drop your comments. You don't have to agree with me. I completely understand it. Drop your comments, like this video, share it with anybody who wants to, who you feel can benefit from it. But before I leave, I will say this. In this parenting job, make sure you're raising your child based on your own dictates and how the Holy Spirit ministers to you to raise your children, because I believe that we are a spirit being, and most times as parents, our intuition, our God's feeling, as little as they are, our instincts, they also add up in when we are raising our kids, because you see the children and you know them as parents. Like, I can literally tell you them, so you can tell your kids, you know them more than every other person. So do what works for you, what works for your family, and what works for your child. Okay, so let the conversation continue in the comment section. This is Gistwithgenevieve, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.